Okay, so once upon a time, I was diagnosed with Graves' disease. Graves' disease is just a thyroid disease. My thyroid was hyperactive and it was producing way too much. And it caused some swelling in my throat. And so when they diagnosed me with it, they said, okay, it's going to have to come out. You have two choices. You can have thyroid surgery, a thyroidectomy, where they go in and cut you. And I thought, ooh, no. Or you get radioiodine treatment. Now, radioiodine treatment, it's a radioactive iodine. And so you can't be around other people because once you take the treatment, the radioactivity kills the thyroid in your throat, totally gets rid of it. But just being around other people, it can kill theirs too. It's really crazy. They even told me not to be around my pets. Like my cat, I had to find my cat a home for a week. So my mom took my girls, my friend took my cat, and I went over to the hospital to get my radioiodine treatment. This was 18 years ago. And I walk in and they put me in a back room, in the doctor's office type of thing. And next thing I know, the door opens and this lady, at least I'm pretty sure it was a lady, walked in. She was covered head to toe in a radiation suit. It was bright yellow. It was huge. And she was carrying this big thing. It was metal. It was about this big. And she says, okay, are you ready? And I'm thinking, should I have a suit? I should have a suit too, right? But anyway, so she goes and she sets this big lead container on the counter. Thunk. And she unscrews the container and she pulls the lid off. And then she takes out this tiny little bottle out of the container. She's using these huge, long forceps to take this little bottle out of the container. And then she uses another pair of forceps to very carefully pry off the top of this little tiny bottle. And she says, okay, put out your hand. I'm like, no, I don't know what you want me to do. So I put out my hand and she tips the bottle over and a little pill falls in my hand. It's just a little pill. And she says, okay, and she hands me a little glass of water and says, go ahead and drink that. And I'm like, oh, okay. She's making me nervous with this suit. I was fine up until that moment. It was the suit that got me. So I took the pill, drank the water, and she says, okay, in 5 minutes, and she had a timer sitting there. She set it for 5 minutes. In 5 minutes, just open the door and make your way back out to the parking lot. And remember, don't be around people. And she was so nice about it. Don't be around people. I said, okay, thank you. And she leaves. So when the timer goes off and I'm sitting there, this is 18 years ago. I didn't have a smartphone. I was bored. Anyway, after reading every poster on the wall and everything that you could find in a doctor's office and going through every drawer and every cabinet, the dinger finally goes and I'm like, oh, I can finally leave. I open the door. They had cleared the hallways. I'm not kidding. There was no one to be found. It was like walking through this empty, abandoned hospital, all the way out to the door. And I got all the way to the car without seeing one person. It was spooky. Anyway, I got home and, I proceeded to be really bored for a week. I wasn't supposed to be around people. I got to the point where, I kid you not, I would go to a drive-through just to hear someone's voice. It was sad. Anyway, after a week, and after having to deal with my uncle calling every other night to ask if I was glowing in the dark yet, I was able to pick up my girls, grab my cat, and go home. So there you go, radioiodine treatment in a nutshell. It's weird, but it's great if you need to have some alone time.